Perfect. Thank you, Rebecca. Hello, everybody. She's going to go ahead and monitor and make sure everybody who's jumping in is still all about being respectful of your time and our time. And so we want to make sure we get started right away. So as Rebecca said, my name is Melanie Durham. I actually live here in the US. I say that because we have people coming in from all around the world jumping in. So welcome to the webinar today. Just a little bit about me, but beyond what she's also said, I'm not going to go into my full resume, but it's diverse and deep. I can be found on Instagram at ms_Melanie5678. Pretty much if you put Melanie5678, it'll bring me up and it's my face. I bring that up because I share a lot of different things throughout the competition season. So here in the US, our competition season really kicks off in January, pretty much almost into February. We have conventions wrapped around competitions, but mainly convention and training times. It goes all the way in through May and can carry into June because we have national finals and different times throughout June and July. It kind of takes a little bit of a break when you start back up with the season again in August. So I know some areas have January through December, or it just varies. So that's not going to be privy to where you're at, but just in general for the competition season. My credits include being a part of the Disney family, being a part of so many different things. I am a former studio owner as well, and I am headed into my 15th year of judging dance competitions. I am over 40. My skincare, I hope, proves that I'm doing something right to not look as such, but we are in the glasses zone now, so forgive me. You can find me on some latest podcast episodes. I am also on the panel for Impact Dance Adjudicators, and you can find me also on Making the Impact podcast on one of those episodes in a future episode, actually coming in the near future. So without further ado, being a part of the class manager family has been a great, exciting time. Also knowing that we are in a different time of starting the season here for dance in the US, but it doesn't mean that we stop training. So even if you've taken a little bit of a break from the summer, or you're just starting out fresh, or maybe you're starting your first time with a competition team, or you're 20 years in, I think these reminders and refreshers would be also really great to have and to remember. So without further ado, what do dance judges look for? And I actually, not just on my own opinion, I reached out to quite a few of my dance judge friends and said, hey, tell me what you think of this. We're pretty much on the same page with some things, but you'll also hear some other things that they look for as well. Both males, females, ins and outs, and making sure that we all have our own to share. And with that being said, when you have a judging panel, always remember it's 3 to 4 judges with 3 to 4 opinions. And so sometimes we follow on the same eye line and opinion on some things, and some things we do not. And we pretty much, we don't fight for it, but we do say, I feel very strongly that da 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 da. So we do voice that in a very respectful, professional way when we are doing our judging and adjudicating. So really quickly today, what will be discussed? Well, really, there aren't any secrets to spill. It's more like extra hints to remember and extra things, especially if you're new to dance competitions, or you want to make sure that you are remembering some key factors and taking notes, or you're going to take this into your director or team meeting, or with the other choreographers or other teachers at the studio. Very important to bring up. Key factors are eye-catching and rewarded by judges. Key factors are the keys to making sure you have an award-winning or winning performance, both in the soul of the dancer and on the stage, so that we can see that excitement and happiness. But also some key factors you have to keep in mind, because we, at the end of the day, have to give you a score. Also, emphasis on the joy in the dance and how much you love to show that. At the end of the day, we want to see that the dancers want to be up there. They're not being forced. They're not being threatened. They're not being told, you must, you must. It's a giveaway in the eyes and their demeanor sometimes about how they come across. And it's very important we see that they're having fun and enjoying themselves up there. Because at the end of the day, if they love to be there for dance, then it shows. So it comes down to 3 areas for a total score. Most of the time it's broken down. It depends on the competition itself, on how they're actually going to have that score tallied up. But the 3 areas are always technique, performance, and presentation. They are separate. They are not one and the same. Your technique is not the same as your performance. Your performance is not the same as your presentation. And I bring that up because a lot of people will say, but they gave a great performance. They gave great face. They were very energetic. And yes, they gave a great performance. They were very animated in their showmanship. Their presentation was very clear, but their technique scoring, here's where it's at and why. So those 3 areas are super important and super helpful to keep in mind. So number 1, technique. I am the judge on the panel that will always look at that technique first, beyond anything else, first and foremost, because technique is the thing that always is, we're driving into the studio as best we can, right? A teacher, 30 years, I'm going to also look at you and go, a tendu is a tendu is a tendu. It's never something else. A plie is a plie is a plie. And at the end of the day, wherever the arms or wherever that moment is to capture the audience or capture what's happening, that's icing on the cake to have for extra presentation, extra performance quality. But you want to really focus on, first of all, precision and accuracy. Judges at the end of the day have to give a score surrounding around technique. We look at perfectly executed steps. We know everything's not perfect, but like I said, a tendu is a tendu. I'm going to speak on my vocal adjudication saying, okay, when you push out on that leg to go into that battement, please always make sure you're making contact with the floor, keeping that leg nice and straight with that knee and really presenting through the ankle. Remember, we point that foot from the ankle, not from the toes, because at the end of the day, we're going to utilize that foot and push through that tendu or go into that battement. Or if the battement is missing those elements, I'm going to go back to, hey, remember when you're at the bar in your ballet classes, we need to make sure the tendu comes from here, XYZ, you know, utilizing all of those muscles and utilizing those moments to make happen. The judge is looking for perfectly executed steps with the turns and the movements. So that way we can see that it's progressing and utilizing the transitions from one thing to the next. Timing and rhythm, so important, right? How am I... Maybe not everybody teaches a 3 and 4-year-old classes. I still do, and I still love it. It brings me joy, okay? I might be just a different person, but the clapping, the step and clap, or the bounce, bounce, clap, all of those are super fun to do, but all of those have a very good base in timing and rhythm. We are trying to find the timing so that eventually maybe that dancer turns into step, touch, and clap, or it's an arm and a snap, or it's making sure the head goes with the body. Again, it comes back into rhythm and timing. Dancers must stay in sync with the music. They must demonstrate and show clear sense of rhythm and timing. If they're not showing that they can have that honed in on, it gets lost in the translation of getting that routine across the judges. Posture and frame, especially important in ballroom dance, bringing up where the posture is and where the frame of the body is, but making sure you have that strong, elegant posture and making sure that's key. Making sure that our posture needs to be when we have that high kick or high battement, or where my body and my chest and my shoulders need to be when I'm executing a double pirouette. Super important, because if it's not there, you're going to wobble. And the head can't spot. Let me just, that's a whole nother tangent, right? Footwork. Judges evaluate the precision and the clarity of the dancer's steps and transitions. We have to see that footwork. Are you doing a triplet step? Up, up, down, up, up, down. Or is it a chassé, step, step? And are you stepping with the heel, making it look like a gallop? Are we making sure to have that smooth transition? Maybe it's a dip with the body on those 2 steps. Making sure we're very crisp and clear that those transitions have been practiced and rehearsed. So to continue on technique, because this is a big one, showcasing your strengths is the most important. Making sure the studio is a wonderful place to push dancers outside of their comfort zone, making sure that they understand that that has to be conveyed across to the audience, obviously the judges at a competition. But on stage, we want to make sure to see how the choreographer, with all the brilliance that is going on, whether it's age 5 or 15, the choreographer, it's if they're the dancer and making sure the dancer can execute it well. You can have a brilliant idea, but then you look at it and you're like, this 12-year-old needs to embody this idea of what my idea is, and what my train of thought is, and maybe it's too mature of a dance or too mature of a song. We need to make sure we're keeping that age appropriateness as well. Most importantly, are we executing consistently throughout the piece so that the judge can see there's confidence happening throughout the dance. That way, the transitions are smooth, the footwork is there, but the dancer's also giving me face and saying, I can do this, I'm confident up here, and not showing, what's next again? Remember, we have to judge exactly what's being presented before us, right on the stage in the moment. We don't know what's happening in your life. We don't know if right before that they're borrowing shoes because they left their shoes at home. So if your dancer falls out of that turn sequence, for example, I have to judge that. I have to put that into my score, and it's under technique. I have to, even though in the back of my head, I know that they probably just did that yesterday in rehearsal, beautifully perfect, chef's kiss. I have to judge and give a score of what's being gone on today. And that has to be communicated to the dancer from the coach or from the teacher. Hey, what you do today is what we're doing today. Sometimes it's our best today, and sometimes it's not our best, and that's still okay. Learning life lessons in the process. Choreographing technical elements, we have to make sure the preparation, the landing of the dance, so that landing part of the dance, so that the execution, the turn of the acro movement is a true surprise. We don't want to see that we're just all of a sudden going to go and prepare and turn and land. For a novice dancer, we want to see those staples and basics, but maybe it's getting into that preparation with a little snap of the hand and then hit the prepare. Give us a little surprise, like, oh, I didn't see that attitude coming. Yes, ma'am. Or maybe they come out of that single pirouette that they finally have made happen, and they land, they jump, and they give a little shimmy and a wink, like, oh, okay, ma'am, like, the confidence is there. Keep us surprised, keep us at the edge of our seat, and actually let us go, okay, I want to dance with you. I want to dance with you. You look like fun. True for acro as well. I am a certified acrobatic arts instructor, and let me tell you, the going in and the coming out of an element is key, rather than just the element itself. When your choreography is finished, make sure we look back at the dance, make notes of certain times that technical elements were repeated. Sometimes we'll see the same thing. Oh, I saw you do that right leg battement facing me, and then we turned and faced the back, but I still saw the right leg battement. It's not changing the technical element. You just changed the direction. I am smart enough to see that that was the right leg 4 times. I'm going to call it out and say, I'd love to see what you could do with the left leg. Great extension on that right leg. The left leg, can we face the side and show me a nice clean battement? Even if it's just to 90, it's not just, you've executed a beautiful 90-degree kick. Go back, mix it up, keep us guessing, keep us excited. A little bit more technique, I know. Hopefully everyone's had their coffee. Dancers shouldn't be relying on the strongest one in the bunch for musical cues and counts. We have our strong dancers. Sometimes it's a little bit of a, I want to say, smart move to put that strongest dancer in the front. And I totally understand. I've been there, but they can't always be in the front. We got to mix it up. Everyone should move together with confidence. Put that dancer that is really quite unsure and give them that magical spotlight moment. Let them go in the front for that 1-8 count and let them have that moment and be the leader of the pack and let them move and groove. Maybe everybody's holding shoulder and we're doing the dive. Everyone's still working together. It's also going to elevate that group to see that we can rely on each other and not just the one person. With that being said, tricks don't win trophies. This is like the endless podcast topic that can be over and over, but we say it and we really mean it. If you feel that you're at an event and you feel like I'm just seeing the tricks being rewarded, then as a dance studio director, you need to bring that up with the director of the event. Remember, they're not necessarily the owners of the company, but they represent the management of the company at the event. You need to speak up and you need to say, I'm noticing this, I have a concern. So that way they hear you, they acknowledge it. And if it's something they need to look at right now or in the future, or they have to reassess what's going on, that's okay too. It's not speaking bad. It's not being a troublemaker. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, tricks don't win trophies. Be technically proficient in your execution. Don't think that those moments will just overshadow the footwork, that triplet that needs to happen, the chasse without leading with the heel so it doesn't look like you're galloping, the posture, the articulation of the arms into the core. Maybe it's a beautiful contraction coming with the shoulders, rounding. It's not all of a sudden going to take away from that moment by doing a back tuck flippity something. It doesn't. That's not it. I'm going to look for the connection and also the articulation, because that's our foundation. Remember? Technique, performance, emotion, and storytelling. I come from a time where once lyrical hit, oh, we were all living our best lives, let me tell you. And side note, besides Disney being in my repertoire, production and So You Think You Can Dance as well. That is a whole nother topic. But here's the thing. It's all about emotion storytelling. So, if you're on TV and you're watching, even right now, Dancing with the Stars just started. Guys, I'm totally invested. I'm catching the clips because I'm busy at the time. Anyways, watch how they show and use that as an example to the students. Do you see them working the camera? Do you see them looking at each other and really giving those eyes, the smize eyes, and giving a little hint with the mouth and giving a little more animation? That's super important. And that's a real-time, real-life example happening right now. The reason I bring that up is because they can have a theme and they're still telling the story. They can have a connection with each other and it's a beautiful tango happening and they're still showing emotion. They can have that eyebrow go up and go, I'm fierce, and watch me do this. But the dancer's ability to convey emotion and tell a story is so crucial. I have cried happy tears being caught off guard more this last dance season than I have in the last 15 years of judging. And I'll be really, really quick on this. One was a contemporary that was just beautiful, just told a story. It just had me in my gut. I said, stop, the show grabbed a tear. I was like, that was heartfelt. Another one was actually a Chinese solo, and it was so beautifully articulated. I still cannot tell you, like, it just hit my soul. I felt like I could see her spelling out that story. Anyways, making sure that that storytelling is super important, whether it's a cha-cha number and you make me want to get up there and also get out the guacamole and chips, or it's a big emotional moment where you're really be showing joy for the world. Show that emotion and get that storytelling across. And it takes practice. Musicality goes hand in hand with that. You can be beautifully animated in your performance, but if you're not staying with the music and really emoting the emotion to match with the lyrics, it gets lost. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Are we happy? The lyrics right now just said, and I feel my grief, but you just gave me a smile. Like, you just got an A on a test. I'm confused. It has to match with the music and what's happening as well. The dancer's ability to interpret and embody the music and simply dance their best dance, but showing me the story and what we're supposed to get across. Energy and projection. I've said this many times in my vocal critiques. Hey, I'm right here in front of the stage. I love it. This is amazing. However, if I was in the back of the house at row 43, I can't tell what you're doing because it's very small. There's a way to have subtleties while being a little bit more exaggerated so we could see it anywhere we're at in the theater. I always say project to the back of the house, project to the back of the theater. Those people paid their ticket for the show too. So if I was watching a huge production, whether I spent $300 in the front row or $30 in the back, I still want to have that full embodiment of this entire production happening. And that's super important. They think they just have to stare down at the judges. No, project the energy, connect with the audience and the judges. Show us you are there to give a show. You're renting out the space and the stage for your 2.5 or 3 minute routine. That's your time. You rented it. Show us what you got. Confidence. Judges are drawn to confident dancers. Let me say, not cocky, not selfish. You can tell the aura and the demeanor of a dancer owning the stage from their entry to their final pose. I will go toe to toe with anyone who wants to say, oh, it doesn't matter about your entrance and your exit. The judges aren't really looking anyways. False. We literally, you might think I'm putting something together. I see you at the corner of my eye. I am watching exactly how your group comes out, how you're looking at each other. If you look scared out of your mind, or if you walk out and go, we've done this a million times, we're ready to go. Oh, okay. All right, let's get it. Let's go. If you're coming out with a shimmy and a shake, or if you're walking out with a very confident walk and I have no idea what you're about to deliver, boom, tap. You know, like it's very exciting. Final pose. If something happened, if something's not feeling right, we need to make sure our dancers know you take it to the wings. That is your time. You've rented the time. Get off all the way, then deal with what you have to deal with. I want to see what I'm there to see because I have to give you a score. Confidence is key. Continuing to perform just a bit, that connection with each other. This picture is so awesome. It took me back to my college days. I was like, oh yes, hello connection in our modern. In the first few seconds of your dance, whether it's a solo or full company production, we have to look for the connection. Boom, are you turning around all of a sudden gonna give me a cha-cha and those fringe pants are going crazy? I'm like, oh, and you're looking at me like, hey, you wanna dance with me, right? I'll be like, oh my God, what? Yeah, like that has me captured right away. But the connection with your fellow dancer, not just, hey, I'm giving you an eye. I wanna see that you're not just dancing next to each other and we're mimicking the moves. Probably pet peeve number 3 of mine personally, and a couple of my judge friends, I will say, is we have a duo or a trio, and they're just dancing next to each other. They may move a little bit on stage. They never really look at each other. I call it out and I say, we're lacking our chemistry connection. I see no chemistry with you two. I don't know if you're besties. I don't know if you're best friends. I don't know if you hate each other. Like maybe it's like a rival routine. I don't know if you're big sister, little sister, and oh, I love you, but now I hate you. And like it's this whole thing. And like that would be so fun to watch. I don't know. You're just dancing next to each other. So you have to see, we have to see the connection, and that needs to be practiced. I want to feel the energy radiating off the dancers, because that's a true performer. And I know not every child is a true performer at heart. We have to make sure we embody that, practice that. It's a practice. It doesn't just happen. You don't all of a sudden get the job at Disney by going, I can smile. You have to show that you can make a connection with the guest, and you have to show you can make a connection with your fellow cast members. We had to, because if they didn't believe it and we didn't make it believable, it loses the magic. So really making sure that while you see them project to the audience with that charisma and ownership and confidence, making sure that we can take ownership in our steps. Even a little 4-year-old that comes out there is like, I'm dancing. If he or she has their chassés and they're doing it and they give me a little, hey, I did that, I'm going to hands down give you an actual audible clap and go, you did that. Good for you. Because they're showing that they're really trying and they have the confidence to be up there. Because first and foremost, isn't it so brave to be on stage? Yes, it is. Eye contact. It plays a huge part in how we interpret connection as judges. Do I want you staring down at me and making me uncomfortable? Absolutely not. Especially if it's like a male-female dynamic panels. There are times when a male judge next to me has said, well, that just made me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, me too. Because it doesn't matter what gender you are. If you're making it super sexy and sultry, we're actually uncomfortable. So may I put a plug in for age-appropriate choreography and costuming here, because you want to make sure you have that eye contact and confidence and charisma. It kind of also is important that we have that connection with the audience and judges while having that confidence and not going, okay, now that got weird. So play with the eye contact and see if it's really something natural. If the choreographer is making a child, remember, these are children, they're minors, do something that is uncomfortable, or the child looks uncomfortable, it needs to be asked, are you comfortable with that? Does this feel comfortable? If it doesn't feel natural and comfortable to them, it probably isn't and should probably be re-examined. Attention to detail is huge. We're almost done, you guys. We're almost there. Everyone's like, this is a lot. Good morning. I know. Attention to detail. I'm all about the details. The details are important. If I see a tag sticking out of the back of the costume, I'm like, oh, we forgot to clip out our tags, right? A little white square poking out. If I see that there's a hairpiece on the left rather than the right, but everybody else has on the right, that's a detail that was missed before you went on stage. That's costuming, making sure that the details are super important in our execution as well, in the actual technique and the steps for a clean presentation. Nothing makes me happier. Let me emphasize again, nothing makes me happier than seeing a group of dancers with the exact same style, right? Where's the finger, right? Like, are we all matching? And then one person's like this with the pinky up and you're like, what just happened? What did we do? Hello, what is happening over there, stage left? A nice bevel with the foot in the jazz number. It gives me life any day. I will be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on a Saturday morning if it's a group of 5 to 6-year-olds and they all are like boom hands and they just hit boom hands and they're together and not one kid accidentally put up the wrong hand. Bravo. The attention to detail has been drilled, has been put into there, and let them really own that confident moment. It also goes with the older ones. Hey, just because you can do a bigger shimmy doesn't maybe mean you should. Everyone should be matching that same dynamic. How about dancers moving together with an inhale or an exhale? Some of those moments are like, I can emphasize, or you have that beautiful contraction I mentioned earlier, making sure that port de bras has come up and we look over, and that exhale, we don't need to necessarily hear an audible exhale, but seeing that movement and that relaxation in the shoulders, that's a detail, and making sure we're showing that. Tell the story with movement, connect with us, with your eyes, give texture and the details. It's different to have the arms just go out and present versus and go, and maybe there's a little finger that there's something there that can really capture the eye and make it stand out on its own. At the end of the day, these subtleties draw us in as judges, and it takes a number from good to professional, and they're really looking and articulating. And when you get off stage, I'm going to remember it. And if I remember it, I'm going to remember it for overalls. I'm going to remember it for choreography awards. I'm going to remember it for any special accolades that we're allowed to give. It's going to be memorable. Instead of me making a note that all of a sudden is like, okay, I think that one had a blue feather. I want to go, blue feathers, shimmy shake, girl with the eyebrow on stage left. Like, there's something that captured me that was really like, oh yes, and they were on it with timing. You want to be memorable in that way. So that way it's really owning your time on stage. Back to eye contact really quickly. It's the heart and pulse of everything. Your dancer doesn't have to. I know I alluded to this earlier, but really shouldn't be staring us down. It's weird. It gets awkward. We're like, hi kids, hi. Okay, perform to everybody else now. Ooh. They should always have a clear intention and focus through the eyes, with eye focus, telling the story, again, projecting to the back of the house. I just want to reiterate that again, because I find that I mentioned that more in my critiques the last 2 years than I have before. It's just really making sure we're not staying in our little TikTok bubble, I guess. I don't know, like keeping things small, really emphasizing you're on stage for everybody. That's a major support, and it can carry the story and carry the routine that they're trying to convey across to everybody. And it really helps us as judges go, oh my gosh, okay, I got to really think about these decimals now in my scoring, because they really exceeded what this group did. Let me do an edit, because we can edit within a certain extent, and making sure that what is happening in that category is so important and rewarded. So I hope that makes sense. Last slide before we move on to the last bit of the webinar. I know you guys are like, she's crazy. No, I'm just excited and passionate about what I do. Presentation, overall appearance. Judges assess everything from the beginning to the end, clean entry and exit. I repeat it again, just because some people, again, it's been put out in viral, one person says it and it means it's like word of God or something like that. Let me just say, that's that person's opinion, just like this is my opinion. But I have yet to meet a judge sitting right next to me during a judging weekend, and a snapshot of that would be 6 hours on a Friday evening, 14 to 15 hours on a Saturday, the same 14 to 15, sometimes about 13 hours on a Sunday, so the crew can clean up, leaving on a very early flight on Monday. And that's not including if we've already flown in on Thursday to do an additional maybe 6 hours on Thursday night. So I'm animated like this the whole time. Lots of water, lots of making sure I'm re-energized the whole time. But I am watching. We are watching how you enter and how you exit, whether it's a solo or a big production number with lots of props. In fact, I'm going to watch a little bit more. I'll give you a hint right here. In the back rows, any large line, large group, or production, I see you in the front. Hey, in the back, are we on the same leg as the front? Because you can't hide a dancer with a prop or other bodies. Stage presence, charisma, posture, and the ability to command the stage and engage the audience. I'm okay if you're like, hey, yeah, bringing it in. It doesn't have to be a concert, but making sure I want to be on the edge of my seat. I want to join your dance number. You guys look fun. This is a fun number. Okay, let's pivot turn together. It really makes it exciting to see your beautiful ballet variation. I want to go up next to you and just go, oh my gosh, can I just be next to you while you're on your leg in that triple pirouette that came right into a sauté arabesque? Because I don't even know how you did that. I need to see it up close. Costumes and grooming, appropriate, age appropriate, cover the kids. Let's be appropriate there too. It's a whole nother talk, but making sure that we are honoring the children for who they are as children, making it clean, uniform together, make sure everyone looks pristine and put together for their body and for their moment on stage so they can be as polished as possible and confident right next to their fellow classmates. Hair, makeup, if you choose, you can put a little bit of blush on and that's the extent, or do full face glam. It's not going to add points or take away. We just want to see a uniform look. If everyone's hair is back in a pony, slick it down. Make sure we have no flyaways going crazy because it captures the stage light. It's not because we want to be picky. Oh, your hair is messy. It literally is a distraction. It's important for a complete presentation, including the tags in the back of the costume, underneath the arm, the jackets. You open up and all of a sudden there's a seam with a white tag because you found this amazing jacket at the clearance rack. I love, cut the tag out. Guess where my eye went? Not on her movement. Oh, what's that? That caught my eye, the white tag sticking out. Last but not least, the attention to detail. I know it's been mentioned before, but small, subtle movements, correct hand gestures, the littlest moment that capture the eye with the head, the awareness of your breathing and how that can elevate and really put forward in your performance is huge. Whether, again, 5 years old, 15, senior year of high school, about to just enter the world into real life, those are lifelong lessons. And we're in this business, not just for the business and the love of dance, but also to teach life lessons. Again, that's another podcast in itself. But I really want to drive across that presentation. The details is super important. And it's important to judges because at the end of the day, we have to give you a score or a few scores. That being said, I have talked so much, but not enough. I feel like I can go on and on and on, Rebecca. But everyone's like, no, stop her. If anybody has any questions, please, I am an open book. I'm willing to answer with my best of my ability. Speak now or forever hold your peace.
That was amazing, Melanie. I mean, I was writing down notes constantly. In the UK, we've got very different dance competitions, but eye contact, attention to detail, make sure everyone's on the same point. Like, I love it. I'm going to be feeding that all back as well to my team. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and for your expertise. Like, that's just blown my mind, to be honest. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, please raise your hand and let us know. This webinar is being recorded and the recording will be sent out at some point tomorrow, along with any other resources or any other updates and stuff that we think might be useful for you guys as well. But yeah, I'll stop talking as well to give you a chance to raise your hands and ask some questions to Melanie.
Don't worry, don't get scared. You can ask it.
If you don't want to talk on the out loud, I mean, you can always welcome to write your question in the comments and I can read it out for you for Melanie.
I will say, while people are maybe thinking too, a question that is often asked too, I'll bring this up real quick, is so what is it that makes a routine really stand out? And every judge has their own opinion, but everything I talked about is in one complete package. But at the end of the day, making sure that that confidence is there and we can see it. And the child, honestly, like I said in the beginning, is truly happy to be there and wants to dance, because we can tell when the face is, I'm here. Like, it's my 12th routine, but I'm here. Or I kind of woke up for this, I guess. Like, you want to see that they truly want to be there and that happiness. I'll take a smile over a plain face anytime, just to show that we're alive and we're well. So if that's any help. Everyone's like, oh no, I'm afraid to ask.
I love it. To be honest, if we've got no questions, it just means that you've covered everything so expertly, and that's just means that you've just done such a fantastic job. So I would love that.
I have been a part of judges trainings for competitions. Again, being former studio owner, going into what it takes to be into the classroom as a dance teacher itself, bringing that magic and delivery. But what I will say really quickly is, if you think of something later, send it in. It's okay. You can reach out to me on Instagram. I can share it with you, or make sure to navigate. Maybe there's a podcast episode out there that maybe answers your questions a little bit deeper with a different set of judges or panel too. So there's a lot of, with technology, opportunities, not just to take my word, that I've also brought in from other judges to say, hey, I'm doing a webinar. Tell me what you think of this. But also utilizing as many resources as you can, as well prepared as you can be.
I do have one question that I was thinking of asking is, what makes a performance stand out? You're going to be watching so many. So what is the standout thing that you can recommend, or that you've noticed in your years of judging?
For me, it kind of depends on where the age range is. So my expectations of a novice dancer age 9 are going to be similar, but yet a little bit different than a novice dancer age 15. And I bring that up because age 9, they're still so young. They still have a few growth spurts to go through. They're probably also not quite into that, I'm going to say it, that awkward, I turned 13 phase, what's my body doing and figuring out. But that age range, for example, like 9, 10, they're such sponges. They want to appease and please. And so I can see if they're really, really trying, and I want to entertain you. I want to please you. I want to have that good score. I want to feel good about myself, whether they're just simply finally executing a pas de bourrée brilliantly, but I could see on their face that they're excited about it, versus a 15-year-old that could also have the same thoughts, but maybe they're a little bit more animated in their face when they give away a problem, right? Or, oh, ooh, I messed up. It's, again, training and making sure that confidence is there. So at the end of the day, I personally want to see that you're having fun, you're executing what's been given to you properly. And if it's not proper, I notice a sickled foot or something happening, again, we give those technical notes. We're not there to talk bad about choreography. We're not there to go, oh, why did you do that in this piece? We're there to go, okay, right there, make sure the arms really extend through the fingertips because you're stopping and it looks like a little claw hand. Let's really follow the lines. And so we're also part of team dance. We're also there to help uplift and help educate. How we do that in 2.5 to 3 minutes. I still get done with weekends and I'm like, what did I do? How did I do that? I just did 600 routines in 2.5 days. What's the math? Like, it literally blows my mind. But once I'm in it personally, I'm in it. I am so focused. That's when we get a judge's break. I am truly on a brain break. I don't now open my phone and kind of just drift. I literally will close my eyes. I'll eat and close my eyes and just not even want to hear anybody for a moment, because I really am there for the kids, and making sure that they know your time is my time and my time is your time. Here we go. That, I don't know, I just get excitement seeing kids try their best. And there's magical moments of an advanced dancer that all of a sudden captures my eye maybe and brings me to tears. Girl, I cannot. Yeah, it's a male dancer last year did that, and I just stopped and I bawled. He just, guys, I can't even, like, I stopped the show. I couldn't. He gave his soul on that stage. Oh, here goes. I just remember the feeling that just, you could see that excitement and joy. It's the joy of dance. That's what I love about what we do in dance.
I love the passion that you have, Melanie. It's incredible. But if we don't have any more questions, we'll end the webinar there. We're very conscious we don't want to take up too much of your time, everybody. But thank you so much, Melanie, for hosting and for doing it. It's been amazing. And thank you everyone for joining today. It's been great. And like I said, I'll send out the webinar recording so you can all watch it again.
Perfect. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.